Good evening, everyone. It's time for another episode of One on One. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thanks so much for joining us once again. And now we appreciate each and every one of you who contacts us and gives us the opportunity to have interesting and important conversations. Now, these conversations, like the one that's about to happen today, are not given enough limelight, in my opinion. It's not given enough time on air. So I love to have conversations like the one we're about to embark on. On today's edition, we're delving into the Milken-Motsepe Innovation Prize Program. Now, it stands out as an amazing platform. It's a revolutionary initiative focused on leveraging technology and innovation to tackle global challenges. Now, this multi-year, multi-million dollar program is one that is dedicated to accelerating progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. We hear about this all the time, but we don't often hear about the crucial areas that are being covered. Poverty alleviation, education, clean energy, and so many more. Now, the emphasis on the fourth industrial revolution technologies like AI, robotics, biotech, and renewable energy highlights its commitment to scalable and sustainable solutions that contribute to a more inclusive and sustainable future. Now, the program's dedication to empowering African innovators, in quote, is evident through its support for the next generation of change makers by providing financial incentives, mentorship, collaboration opportunities, and access to networks. Now, the program fosters a really supportive ecosystem for young entrepreneurs to thrive and contribute to sustainable development and economic progress in Africa and, of course, around the world. Today is a great day. Why? Because we have joining us Dr. Emily Muzzle Church. Now, she is a senior director at the Milken Institute and an authority on global sustainable development. Now, Dr. Church has dedicated her career to harnessing technology and innovation to address global challenges for social good. She specializes in entrepreneurship and prize competitions, particularly focused on African led innovations that, of course, address the SDGs. And she's joining us right now on One on One. Welcome, Dr. Church. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the program. I'm really excited to be here and talk with you today.
Okay, so having opportunities like this to have conversations like this, I always appreciate it because I just feel like um, there are so many platforms and programs that are out there that just don't get enough airtime. Your prize, your innovation prize, has I've been aware of it for quite a bit, but for those that are hearing about it for the first time, please break it down. Tell us exactly what Milken-Motsepe Innovation Prize Program is all about.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Yes, so we launched the Milken-Motsepe Innovation Prize Program in the spring of 2021. And the idea is to have a series of different prizes and challenges put out for the world to get new ideas, new innovators who are creating breakthrough ideas and have companies that will really advance the sustainable development goals, as you said in your intro. This is really focused on fourth industrial revolution technology. And these are global competitions. So we want the best ideas from anywhere. They have to be able to work on the continent of Africa. The Milken Institute works in close partnership with the Motsepe Foundation. And the idea here is to make sure that anyone who has a great idea has resources at their fingertips to be able to figure out, how do you start a company? How do you build your prototype? How do you create a business plan? What are different marketing models that you may have? We every year release a specific challenge and focus all these entrepreneurial ideas to that one challenge, test the different ideas and companies, and then determine which ones are going to win $1 million grand prize at the end of the year.
Finding the right ones, the right teams, the right um, innovations that deserve the prize. But it must be such a journey, must be to filter through all these. Do you get throughout the process. And let's talk about how the process even goes.
Sure. All right. Well, step one is people who are interested can join the Milken-Motsepe Prize community. If you go into milken-motsepeprize.org, we are a nonprofit organization, so it costs no money. People can sign up to join. And the first step is we have a series of different resources for people, a library, you're on a mailing list where we send out a resource of the month, there's webinars, and that currently has over 4,200 people as part of the community. And about 110 countries around the world. The vast majority are from sub-Saharan Africa, and there are 44, at last count, 44 African countries who are part of this community.
44.
44. So, yeah, still a few more.
Okay. How do you spread your reach that much? How do you manage all, working with all these countries? Seems daunting.
Well, there is talent everywhere. So what daunting or not, our mission is to say, how can we find the best ideas? So we really want to be able to have a wide reach. And so there's a bit of a funneling that goes on because we want that first stage to join us there's a sort of low barrier for entry. We want to just put out into the world as much of these resources so that people wherever they are can at least get started or build upon, if they already have a company, within their entrepreneurial journey. And when we launch a new challenge, there's going to be a specific one. So far we have run an agritech competition that was really focused on finding solutions that would bring more economic value to smallholder farmers in Africa while increasing yield and or reducing waste. So that was the first one, all around agritech. The second competition that we actually just awarded last month was on green energy. So this meant creating off-grid electricity generating solutions using only green sources. So that was our second challenge. The one we just launched last month is on financial technology. So this one that people can register for now is looking for companies that use financial technology to support and build in emerging and frontier markets. So how do you really have that inclusive access to capital? So each time, so once you're in this bigger community, there are different challenges that are launched. So as people have a particular interest or expertise, or sometimes we've had people who've competed in more than one, you can compete in any of those challenges. The next...
Yeah, so I was really interested in the last team that won. It was a special tractor of some sort.
Yes.
Yes, a special tractor of some sort. I saw a video on YouTube of it, and I feel like it must have been really difficult to sort of envision something so elaborate and figure out how it would apply for each African country. Now, this part addressing challenges for specific parts of Africa is also in your focus, yes? But now you've done agri-tech, you've done green energy, now you're into fintech. Let's break down how this is going to work. How does this work? Because it seems to me that there are quite a lot of fintech firms and programs out there that are doing what they can. So how do you find the innovators among such a long list?
Yes. Okay. So we always build in with every Milken-Motsepe Prize a series of milestones and elements where we go from a really large pool to a smaller pool to smaller. And as we get more specific, there's a smaller group that we're working with. They get more money and increased support. So for the green energy ones, we could talk about the tractor and other green energy solutions first, perhaps, and then we'll move on to fintech. So for that one, we, out of about, I think it was about close to 500 full applications. So we went from 4,000 down to 500, down to top 20 companies. They all got $20,000 each to build their prototype or expand their company. And then they had to test wherever they were in the world. Then from those 20, it went down to 5. And then those 5 companies, we brought them all to Stellenbosch University in South Africa. And they had live demonstrations of showing how their prototype worked. We had judges there, university professors, our sponsors, et cetera, school children to also see and hopefully get inspired. So they had to demonstrate at least 60 kilowatt hours of off-grid electricity. They got an additional 70,000 at that point, and that group also had individualized mentoring, a free course on entrepreneurship, so more and more. And then the final piece last May was a $1 million grand prize, which is the tractor, a company called AFTRAC, and our runner-up got an additional $250,000, 250,000. That was a company called Omnivat.
Okay. So I'm actually on the screen right now. I have the website, the Milken Institute website, and you can see from what I'm scrolling through now, there's quite a lot that you're into, and there's a lot of information right here on the milkeninstitute.org. I'm just trying to go um, find out. Okay, so you have quite a lot of centers all around the world. I know that you're focused on Africa presently. Is what okay, I can see it here. The winners of the Milken-Motsepe Prize in Green Energy, May 6th. That's just literally last month.
Yes.
You found the winners. Do you think you can pinpoint what was specifically unique about this particular team? What was so unique about them? I know that you have a huge team working on this, but what was it about them specifically?
Yeah, so we, for every challenge, we have expertise from various judges, different countries. We always want to make sure we have representation from the continent, of course, from Africa, and people also across sector. So we work to make sure that we have experts that are completely independent from both the Motsepe Foundation and the Milken Institute that go through and they look at all of the data and evaluation from these particular groups. For the top 5, as I mentioned, we also went in person, so people had an opportunity to really ask questions, see the innovations. The first and second prize winners, one interesting fun fact is neither of them had a company that existed ahead of time. So they went from an idea of, hey, can we make this work? And they used that seed funding to build their prototype and start testing. And then the next round of funding to build out their company. So it's really, this one was really looking for those or building the capacity. The winner here, the AFTRAC system, what we saw from actually our first and second place winners, and actually all 5 had something not just generating the green energy, which was the criteria that they had to meet for the competition, but they went well above that, and they were providing something more to the community. For example, for AFTRAC, this tractor that you saw was able to generate electricity. You can see that solar panel on the top. It does deep bed farming. They had solar grids that come without using any tools. People can use and construct them, and then it generates something people can charge their whatever it is, light, their phone, their computer into this. And I can see you're looking here through all the different videos. We have all 5 of our finalist teams. You can get more in depth about what they do. And our runners-up, which is a Pan-African team, Omnivat, that got the $250,000. Theirs also was something that it generated electricity and it had all of these other features within this large shipping container that could be shipped around the world. Part of what our judges were looking for was, is this an idea that can scale and work beyond one particular community? How scalable is any particular project?
I have to say it is such an intricate process, and you have mentioned that the focus now is fintech and anything to do with finance and technology. I'm all over it. I'm always
good
hearing about that because they're the money makers. They're the golden geese right now. But you've also touched on AI and some other things. But I'm wondering now what the future opportunities are out there. So for someone who wants to apply, who wants to be part of this prize within the next award, the new award, what exactly do you need to do?
Okay, so you go to Milken-Motsepe all one word, Milken-Motsepe Prize.
Yeah.
And there you'd be able to click on and you can start your application. You can learn more. You can join the community, and you have up until August 6th to submit your plan. Now, this one is slightly different. Every time we design a challenge, it depends on what we are trying to achieve and what the topic is, how we design it. So everyone has a different structure. This Milken-Motsepe Prize in FinTech, given that we're going to award in a year, we're now looking for companies that are already established. As you said, there are many different startups. There's lots of FinTech that's out there. There's not really the time to go from, I have an idea for one and I'm going to get customers and I'm going to create something, I'm going to test it. So for this competition, unlike the previous two, this one, there's companies that exist and we are really challenging them. You can see all of the criteria are outlisted. Our rules are on milken-motsepeprize.org. You can download a PDF and see exactly what we're looking for. But it is about, the idea is around inclusive access to capital and really looking at frontier and emerging markets. This one, the structure will be after people apply by August 6th, there will be 10 companies that are selected that they are going to get $100,000 each. So this is much bigger because they're already established companies. So unlike last time, first one was 10,000 each, second was 20. This one's 100,000 for those 10 companies. They will have a live showcase on the continent in the first quarter of 2025. We'll bring investors, judges, people to ask questions. And then our winners will come to our big Milken Institute Global Conference in Los Angeles. So they'll be flown out to LA and we will have a $1 million grand prize winner announced next May 2025 for our Milken-Motsepe Prize in FinTech.
Okay, so I can see the website right there. That's the website, and I'm hoping that someone is jotting that down right now, the milken-motsepeprize.org. It's an amazing opportunity for people that really have these amazing ideas. Now, I have to say that, so sorry, my phone keeps ringing. I have to say that I've always wondered about how people can collaborate with organizations like yours. Now, there's probably someone in the financial space right now, or maybe even in the education space, someone in the tech space that probably wants to be part of what the Milken Institute is doing. Now, they've seen what you've done. They've seen how you've rewarded these amazing innovators, and they want to join you. What exactly do they need to do?
Great. Well, there's lots of different ways to partner and join with us. Our focus for Milken-Motsepe Prize really is on the entrepreneurs themselves. So the biggest thing we're looking for first is not about us. It is about supporting these entrepreneurs. We all know that a successful company is going to take far more than your first amount of funding and a year's worth of work. So even after someone wins $1 million, we really want to support them in having more follow-on investment, scaling opportunities. Sometimes it's a regulatory change. It depends on the country or what the company is. But one of the most exciting things that happened at our award ceremony this year, besides giving out $1 million and $250,000 to these two teams, was having the previous year's $1 million winner. So we had Diana from NoVeed, Diana Orembe from NoVeed, which was our 2023 grand prize winner, come and talk about what's happened in that last year. What happened with the $1 million? How much other money has she been able to get investment? How has her company grown? She's got a new product line. So what we care about first is helping our entrepreneurs, supporting them. If you want to invest, learn more, partner with them, we would love to help make those connections. There are always ways, we have these resources. If you have resources that would help people along the way, we would be happy to vet them and talk about having them included in our resources for the entrepreneurs. We have various events throughout the year. For people who are investors and want to meet them, we'll be having an event in Q1, as I mentioned, for FinTech. So there's lots of different ways to get involved. And again, for us, the success of the entrepreneurs is our success. We don't take any intellectual property. We don't take any equity in companies. We want the entrepreneurs to have their access to capital and to thrive.
I was going to ask that actually, if Milken-Motsepe does after the fact, I guess it's the African in me asking, what's in it for them? Not to sound crass, but do they get a share of, or do they get to benefit of in some way or shape or form?
This is a charitable endeavor. The Motsepe family, as you may know, is a member of the Giving Pledge, who has pledged to give away at minimum half of their income while they're alive. So they are extremely dedicated. And Mike Milken, the founder of Milken Institute, is also a member of the Giving Pledge. So these are people who have dedicated their lives to say, when we have been given so much, how do we do more and put that into the world so that others may? And caring so much about what happens on the African continent as this being the future for all of us on the planet, growing population, so much creativity and ingenuity, business opportunities, so many reasons why it's important to have these sort of companies, particularly that's tech for good, that are looking things that are going to be climate sustainable, workforce forward, future forward. So we do not take any part of any of the company. It is money that we give out, and then we do another one the next year and hope to help more people after that and support them on their journey.
So there's no catch. There's no catch. There's no percentage of my company going to some organization somewhere.
Now, we will introduce people to investors. Now, an investor in your company will make any sort of deal they will, like anything else. But I will say that one of our finalists from the first competition, Agritech, he will say, look, so many of us were like, is this a scam? Is this free money? We see people like, you want to win $1 million?
Exactly.
So now that we've had real people getting money throughout, this is our third cycle of it. You can meet the winners. You can talk to them. And we, in fact, encourage people to see what their journey has been like. That is what we're here to do is build bridges, open doors as much as we can, get the capital flowing.
All right. Now this is, I just had to clarify, because it is money we're talking about here. But it's, so the world is a global village now, and there's nothing really hidden under the sun. And there are probably people who have submitted turns IP like this property to other programs and prizes before, and come into challenges with applying for another prize or another platform or another grant because they've already done so before. So let's just talk on the level. If you were to advise me, I have an amazing platform. I have a company that I think can win the prize. What's your one-on-one advice to anyone that's about to apply?
So my one-on-one advice would be to just start and try to build. We have legal agreements with all of our judges to make sure that they have no business engagement, and they cannot have anything that they see that's intellectual property is completely protected. We also don't require teams to submit that. We understand this question about trust. I would say for people to look at patent laws in their country. This is one thing I would love to do more of in the future. You talked earlier about when there's so many different countries around the world, there's such specific laws that are different. So we may be able to advise I'm sitting here in Washington, D.C., there's a patent office down the street that's different than what's going to happen for entrepreneurs in different countries. The more you should think about your IP, absolutely. People should be protective of their intellectual property. Think about how to protect your ideas, and then really partner with people as much as possible. This is framed as a competition. We do believe in competition and having people really find out who is the best of the best, what's going to work. Let us test it. At the same time, nobody wins really all alone in this world. So the more you can work with people, partner, test out as much as you can, build prototypes, talk with the communities, really importantly, the communities you want to serve, ask people what works, try things, listen to feedback, and keep trying again.
Okay, amazing. So the process takes approximately like 9 months from start to finish, or is it more? From the first application?
Yeah, for this one, for FinTech, so the process, it depends. You could submit something today if you're ready, anytime before August 6th. Okay. And then, we offer things throughout. You will have something in the early part of the year. So that puts you at about 6 months from there. Then there's another judging round. That would be it's 11 months from now, we will be giving out our next $1 million on stage.
Amazing. All right, then. Thank you so much, Dr. Church, for coming to talk about this with us. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I've been having a conversation with Dr. Emily Muzzle Church. Now, she is presently in DC, and she is speaking on the Milken-Motsepe Milken-Motsepe Prize for Innovation, right? Innovation Prize? Prize for Innovation?
Innovation Prize Program. Yes.
Innovation Prize Program. So for the third time around, they are helping the next generation of change makers, supporting them, providing financial incentives, mentorship, collaboration opportunities, access to networks, and programs that foster ecosystems, supportive ecosystems for them. Let me see if I can bring up that website one more time. Hope I can find it. Hope I haven't closed it yet. Here it is.
Milken-Motsepeprize.org. Yes.
Exactly, that's it. The Milken Institute is right there. That's the website you're
There
looking
it is.
for. That's milkeninstitute.org, and find
Very
out
nice.
more about it. You might be listening or watching for a specific reason. This might be your opportunity to do something great and make an impact on your community. I have to say a thank you to you again, Dr. Church, for talking to us on One on One.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, then, any final comments before we go? Anything we missed out?
I would say my final comment is sometimes people think entrepreneurship or solving problems is something somewhat for someone else. We have
Mm,
found time and again that people can have amazing ideas, and when given resources to be able to show and build on those ideas, that's how we're going to get a better world for everyone. So believe in yourself, start your companies, try things, don't be afraid to fail. Try again. There are lots of resources out there to support people, and you just may have the idea that's going to change the world.
I love it. I love it. You may just have the idea that could change the world, and it might just be sitting on your laptop somewhere. What are you waiting for? Just visit the website as soon as you can. Thank you so much, Dr. Church, for talking to us once again.
Thank you.
And there you have it. One on one today had the opportunity to, get a critical breakdown from Dr. Emily Muzzle Church on, as she is a senior director at the Milken Institute. And when it comes to their innovation prize, it's something that she's extremely passionate about. Now, you probably missed it. You can always go back and watch or listen again. But we did what we could to talk about how this revolutionary initiative focuses on leveraging technology and innovation to tackle global challenges. It's a multi-year, multi-million-dollar program, and it's dedicated to accelerating the progress towards the SDG goals. Now, I would appreciate it if you left a comment or contribution in the comment section right down below, or indeed shared this video with a friend. If you are on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell as soon as you can, and of course, make it a date with us. Now, if you would like to be on the next edition of One on One, my name is Titilayo Oyinson. All we need is you to send an email. Let me see if I can get that out there for you. Yeah, it's very simple. Dynamite Podcast Network at gmail.com. Just send an email to Dynamite Podcast Network at gmail.com and we will get back to you. All right, then, until we come your way next time, have a great day, everyone. Bye.